the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. Today, we are covering the 5th preliminary practice. Avoiding adverse conditions, staying away from negative friends. Associating with bad people increases the 3 poisons and damages: study, contemplation, and practice. It destroys compassion, therefore. Avoiding bad friends is the practice of a bodhisattva. If we associate with negative relatives or friends, then certainly, without any doubt, the 3 poisons that sever the wisdom life of liberation will increase. If you rely on bad friends or negative teachers, 3 poisons will grow. There's no doubt. If the 3 poisons increase, then the main causes for practice and liberation will be destroyed. All activities of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma will be lost once greed, anger, and ignorance arise. The originally present Mahayana roots of compassion, bodhicitta, and other qualities will completely disappear. Indeed, negative friends are truly dangerous and have tremendous harmful influence. Know that such negative friends are like ferocious wild animals. Everyone knows about wild beasts. For example, how zebras and similar animals are constantly in danger. African leopards hide nearby, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, which suddenly leap and seize them by the throat, hold on tightly, biting into the veins of the neck, and never letting go until the animal's life is completely ended. This is how predators operate. So if there is a negative friend, they may have found the very essence of a practitioner's wisdom life. And in an instant, before you even realize what's happening, they will find a way to control and take over. From then on, it's very difficult for that person to recover. So if we rely on a wild beast, place trust in such a dangerous creature, we would naturally be very afraid. But even in a beast's jaws, there might be a chance for escape, a possibility of survival. But with bad friends, once you are entangled in their web of negativity and harmful influence, it's very hard to free yourself from their damaging effects. That's why we must avoid them. This is the practice of all bodhisattvas abandoning negative friends. In the chapter on causes and conditions, do not associate with those who create non-virtue, those who are virtuous. If they rely on those who engage in harmful actions, even if they are originally good, if they rely on someone who creates negativity, they may also create negativity, and bad reputation will spread far. They were good, but by being with negative friends regularly, their reputation will gradually deteriorate and become increasingly negative. They'll also create more negative karma. It also says associating with bad people leads to ruin. That is, if you rely on negative teachers or friends, all negativities increase and all virtue will be lost. So you must be diligent in avoiding them. Some people think, as Mahayana practitioners, shouldn't we have compassion, not avoiding bad friends? In fact, in the long run, it is good to generate bodhicitta. But for beginners, you must definitely stay away from negative friends. Otherwise, in your mind stream, all virtues of contemplation, meditation will be lost. So before that happens, distance yourself. When the time comes and your practice is stable, you can help and guide them. Otherwise, it's very dangerous for oneself. The Sutra of Mindfulness of the True Dharma. Negative friends are the root of afflictions. They must be abandoned completely, just like a poisonous tree. The Nirvana Sutra also says, Bodhisattvas fear negative friends. This fear far surpasses their fear of wild elephants. A mad elephant is frightening, but not as dangerous as because mad elephant can only destroy our present physical body for this life, whereas negative friends destroy all our virtue and purity of mind, which has far greater consequences. In India, elephants are frightening and dangerous creatures, but wise ones and bodhisattvas do not fear elephants. They are not worried about elephants, but they do fear bad people. Among bad people, those lacking bodhicitta and those with wrong views, especially those beginners without stable practice, if they rely on someone who loves drinking alcohol, they'll quickly pick up this habit. All those love to criticize others, you'll also pick up this habit. Thus, negative friends are indeed a very serious and important matter to consider. You must avoid them at all costs. Why did masters like Jigme Lingpa and Longchenpa, in their great treatises, specifically establish a chapter on avoiding bad friends? It's the same in the chapter on causes and conditions. The Bodhikaryavattara, Those who act like fools will surely fall into the three lower realms. They will not attain a noble being statewide associated with fools. If you rely on ordinary people, you'll fall into the three lower realms. Why rely on them? For these negative friends become intimate friends in an instant, but become enemies just as quickly. When you're close, you eat and drink together constantly. Every day, they invite you out for hot pot. But after a while, you're enemies for a small issue. Then they start spreading rumors everywhere, even posting your faults online for everyone to see. Even in joyful situations, they get angry. Ordinary people are hard to please. Even in situations that should bring happiness, they begin to feel anger and resentment for the smallest reasons. Truly, ignorant people are hard to satisfy. No matter what you do, they'll always find something to be unhappy about, some reason to complain. Especially negative friends who are narrow-minded, they bring you suffering all day long, affecting your peace of mind. Therefore, the great masters of the past, at a certain point, would rely on quiet places. They wouldn't care if others were pleased or not. They just did their own practice. This is very important, especially in quiet places, when relying on spiritual teachers. If you are tied up by afflictions all day, it's a pity. The ordinaries are hard to please. In summary, associating with bad friends, you will take on their faults. Virtue hasn't arisen, will not arise. Virtue that has arisen will gradually be lost. The faults are limitless. Furthermore, Lord Atisha once said, avoid friends who arouse afflictions and rely on friends who increase virtue and spiritual qualities. Keep this firmly in your heart. We must distance ourselves from friends who cause us afflictions. No matter what, find a way to let them go and maintain your distance. For friends who increase virtue, no matter who they are, you should rely on them. The record of master and disciple dialogues records, Ashdromtumpa, among all enemies, who is the most dangerous and harmful? Atisha replied, the root of all harm is a negative friend. Of all enemies, who is most frightening? Who poses the greatest danger to our spiritual path? It is the root of all afflictions. The root of all misfortune is negative friends. Then Dromtunpa asked, who is the greatest obstacle to pure discipline? Atisha replied, women and the like. Therefore one should avoid them for that sake. Indeed, as a monastic who has taken vows of celibacy and purity, if you uphold pure vows, then women are the greatest obstacle of all to maintaining those specific commitments. Mipham Rinpoche, in his compassionate and profound advice to monks and monastics, said, beautiful women are the enemy of monks and their vows. Such teachings exist in the tradition. Therefore, as a keeper of pure vows, truly this is something to be mindful about. If you become entangled or harmed by her, then everything in this and future lives will be ruined. The same applies if a woman maintains pure vows and spiritual commitments, whether lay or monastic precepts. Men are likewise the greatest obstacle. They are also the biggest danger to one's vows and spiritual practice. A partner of the opposite sex will naturally lead to the destruction of your vows and commitments to the path. This is the greatest obstacle for the practice of Dharma on the path to liberation. Actually, in the desire realm where we currently reside, this kind of relationship are rather hard for many people to transcend, indeed. Once entangled, you may not only fail to attain the three enlightenments, but even temporary progress in study and practice will become impossible. Dromtunpa, he also said, find ways to avoid friends who arouse desire. He further said, if a person of lower spiritual capacity befriends someone virtuous, he may become an average person. But if a superior person befriends an inferior one, then without any effort or intention, he'll quickly fall to a lower level. So for a person with negative tendencies, if he rely on a good person, he may improve a little bit, like a piece of rotten wood in the Malaya Mountains, absorbing the fragrance of sandalwood from the surrounding forest over time. But for the superior practitioner, associating with negative people brings harm, because meeting a bad friend or a negative person will undermine the three trainings or all aspects of their practice, it will have a negative influence. This is the meaning. Geshe Potowa also said, if without necessity or proper reason, we listen to the persuasion of bad friends and follow their example and negative behaviors, we will surely destroy all our plans for this and future lives. If you heed bad friends in their mind, accept useless ideas, there's nothing truly beneficial for liberation or for our lives. So if we listen to them, we destroy this in future lives. He also said approaching a bad dog means you'll get bitten. For practitioners, especially monastics, if you approach women inappropriately, your reputation in this life will surely be ruined and compromised. See, this is very dangerous for Dharma practitioners, and in the next life you'll be close to the lower realms due to breaking your vows and commitments. This is what we don't want, especially for monastics. No matter who you are or what your background might be, since many people nowadays take monastics or teachers, pure practitioners, and purposely link them to women, creating false associations and rumors to destroy the Dharma or to slander the teachers. This is their only method. Likewise, if it's a Dharma teacher or someone in a position of spiritual authority, female Dharma teacher or female practitioner, they may be slandered with allegations involving people of the opposite sex. Then, not to mention spreading Dharma, even remaining in a pure Sangha or spiritual community, the chance of staying may become impossible. So I have said before, for most monastics, the greatest slander is to make inappropriate accusations about relationships, especially claiming someone has a dakini or a consort. Such claims are especially harmful, although in Vajrayana there is such terminology for most sanghas and communities, or for a normal Dharma practitioner. This is the greatest slander, the worst kind of accusation. No matter what great master, or which pure Khenpo or Khenmo with impeccable conduct, or any monastic, even if you use other supposedly reasonable words that seem plausible, in reality they are harmful. To dress it up with disgusting language that damages reputations, then this can be said to destroy the merit and reputation of great teachers. Even for us practitioners, such words should not be joked about or used carelessly, especially in a pure Sangha, such as Larungar and similar monastic communities. It's never allowed. If such a thing truly happens, it's not that we must keep it secret or hidden from view, because it cannot be hidden anyway. But as a member of a pure Sangha, this is truly something to be vigilant about. As Geshe Poto just explained earlier, for practitioners in general, if you get close to a bad dog, you will definitely get bitten. Likewise, if someone with pure vows approaches women inappropriately, the result will be harmful consequences. Geshe said, women are the source of afflictions, so do not rely on them. Geshe Shawa also said, if a bad friend treats you kindly, it leads to misfortune. Yet, you may not understand this. If a good friend scolds you, that is truly helpful and beneficial. But you might not realize it. Some friends may scold you harshly, but it is out of kindness and is beneficial to you. Geshe Najepa also said, regard those negative friends as mortal enemies who can harm your life vitally. See negative friends as if they have a contagious disease. Negative friends are like those get infected, must be isolated, must be sent to a quarantine facility. Look at the recent quarantine hospitals in Shanghai. There are so many stories. So negative friends like these, who disregard discipline, concentration, and wisdom every day, and just talk nonsense all day, or are full of greed, anger, and ignorance, such people should never be relied upon for anything. You should keep this in mind, especially in a pure Sangha like this. If there are such negative friends, you should treat them like a disease. Report them to the relevant authorities here. Some leaders take this very seriously. Moreover, Bodhisattva Togme Sangpo further said, rely on negative friends, your faults will increase and become an obstacle to virtue and spiritual progress. You who desire worldly happiness must absolutely avoid bad friends who can lead you astray and cause long-term suffering. Truly, this is a very important teaching. These are Master's own words. Even such a great bodhisattva as Togme Sangpo paid great attention to avoiding negative people. We must be mindful. If Togme Sangpo himself practiced this in his own life, then it shows he did not just say, oh, this is just a sentient being, and mingle with them every day. Not like that. This teaching is still very important, even in our present time. All right, let's stop here for today.
Bandara Banma Sodargye